News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
News Talk KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Western Montana's fire season officially underway. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Thursday, July 24th, 2014. We have a partly cloudy sky. The thunderstorms mostly missed Missoula proper last night, although it was kind of interesting to watch some of the lightning early in the evening. Right now we have partly cloudy and 61 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning sponsored by Dig It Excavating, where they bring 30 years of excellence to every job. Call 214-4292. Well, the Cyr Gulch fire first reported yesterday at about 1 p.m. The fire is burning west of the Y out on the west side of the Clark Fork River. Lolo National Forest spokesman Boyd Hartwig provides these details.
This fire is on Plum Creek land. It's about 5 miles south of Frenchtown. It's a fire that's kind of burning in a lot of slash up there. It's being kind of pushed by the winds and smoke visible from Missoula.
As of last night, firefighters from local departments and agencies were on scene providing ground and air support to slow the fire's progress. It's estimated at about 20 acres as of last night. Did exhibit very active fire behavior, though. Firefighters will continue to work the fire today, and an additional fire has been detected south of the Cyr Gulch fire that resources are also working on. Just before 3 a.m. yesterday, we talked about this quite a bit. The McNellis family on Jake Court in the Upper Miller Creek area were awakened by an enormous thunderclap and discovered that lightning had caused a gas line to burst and a tree to burst into flames. Homeowner Sarah McNellis explains.
Heard a loud boom, and it just shook our whole house. So we immediately got out of bed to go check on the kids, and I can see kind of flickering of some kind of light on our wall. And so I went to the window and looked out and just saw the tree up in flames.
McNellis says the lightning strike ruptured an underground gas line.
It hit a gas line, so it just kept coming back up, the flames. Then the neighbor brought over their fire extinguisher, and that seemed to get it down. And then minutes later, the fire department showed up and kind of took care of the hot spots. And the rest of the night was dealing with the gas leak.
We'll have more on the line of thunderstorms that rolled through the area last night later in the newscast. A man accused of grabbing a 10-year-old girl as she played with her brother in a Missoula park has pleaded not guilty to attempted kidnapping. The Missoulian reports 34-year-old Cody James Lowe appeared before District Judge Karen Townsend Tuesday. Via video from jail, she continued his bail at $100,000. Prosecutors say Lowe ran up to the children June 21st and grabbed the girl by the leg. He carried her about 25 feet before the girl's kicking and screaming caused him to drop her. The girl's father chased after the man and held him for police. Lowe initially said he was trying to save the girl from a dog and then told police he was looking for companionship and wasn't thinking when he grabbed the girl. Prosecutors say Lowe was convicted of sexually assaulting a nurse back in April. After two men attempted to take some stolen copper wire to Missoula's Pacific Steel and Recycling Center Tuesday, they were caught red-handed with other loot from other crimes. Missoula County Sheriff's Office spokeswoman Paige Pavolone explains what happens when deputies caught up with the men.
They confronted both of the gentlemen, and basically subsequent investigation determined that they not only were responsible for the stolen copper wire, but they were also responsible for the break-in at the Bonner Post Office, for stealing a bicycle at the Bonner Town Pump, and various other thefts throughout Missoula County and Missoula City.
The men led deputies to a pile of stolen goods that they had discarded in Council Grove State Park. Investigators are still trying to piece together just how many crimes are involved.
They would grab things in the middle of the daylight, break into anything every single day. It was just incessant thievery. The things that were recovered that were just dumped include binoculars, a wireless radio collar for wildlife. They ditched their shoes there, tools, cutters, loopers, different CD players, faceplates, CDs. They basically did this since they got here to Missoula about a month ago.
The men had been camping out in Winnebago in the Walmart parking lot at the Town Pump in Bonner. Pavolone says many of the stolen items haven't yet been reported or claimed, and anyone who suspects they've been burglarized should check out the Sheriff's Department. A Montana man has been sentenced to over 8 years in prison and ordered to repay nearly $6.5 million for taking millions of dollars in down payments on steel buildings he never completed. District Judge Donald Malloy sentenced 41-year-old Jonathan Lee Oliver of Missoula Tuesday. Oliver pleaded guilty in February to wire fraud, money laundering, and structuring or intentionally making bank transactions in amounts less than the $10,000 level at which a federal report must be filed. Charging documents said Oliver solicited prepayments of nearly $8 million, mostly from residents of Montana, North Dakota, and South Dakota. A University of Montana economist will be testifying before a congressional committee today. Paul Polzin, director of Emeritus at UM's Bureau of Business and Economic Research, spoke to KGVO News from outside his hotel in Washington, D.C. yesterday. And he said his testimony will highlight the energy industry.
From 2007 to 2013, employment in the oil and gas industry increased by 50%. While the rest of the economy declined by 1%. Nationwide, the average pay in the oil and gas industry is $108,000, and for all other industries, it's about $49,000.
Polzin hopes Congress will consider this information before placing further restrictions on energy development projects.
Well, I hope this is the kind of background information they can use when they look at energy regulation and when they try and determine what impact the new American energy revolution is having on the national economy and specifically on the North Dakota and the Montana economy.
Polzin will testify before the U.S. House of Representatives Subcommittee on Energy and Power. The Montana Supreme Court has upheld the 2010 firing of a former state tourism director. Elizabeth Betsy Baumgart served as administrator of the Montana Tourism and Promotion Division for 8 years and received satisfactory or better performance reviews. In August of 2010, the new Department of Commerce director fired Baumgart. The agency said Baumgart left millions of dollars unspent every year, opening the possibility for the legislature to revert that money back to the state's general fund. She sued, arguing that her firing was politically motivated. The Supreme Court rejected that argument and ruled Tuesday that budget issues were adequate grounds for firing. The thunderstorms that blew through the area last night largely missed Missoula, but other parts of western Montana were affected. Jen Kitzmiller with the National Weather Service has details.
We did have some thunderstorms out near Butte that produced some hail up to 1 inch in diameter. And then up in northwest Montana, there were some wind gusts, I believe, approaching 60 miles per hour up towards Lake Troy in those areas that produced some damage, I think some down power poles and things like that.
Kitzmiller says the area was hit by thousands of lightning strikes from the recent storms.
There was a lot of lightning. Yesterday, 24-hour total was about 4,700 lightning strikes across all of western Montana and a little bit of Idaho.
Kitzmiller says fire managers are watching the area closely in the next few days for any new fire starts. News Talk Time 6:10.
News Talk KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Look for a mix of sun and clouds today with windy conditions. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour are possible. High temperatures today will stay in the mid to low 70s. We'll see ample sunshine on Friday with highs close to 80. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.
And right this very minute, partly cloudy, kind of a pretty sky at sunrise. We've got 61 degrees in Missoula.